turn your radio up. Louder, louder, just a little bit louder. Because the next hour, you're going to be tuned in to Doni Jones Live with Doni Jones and Mardy Ringer. Hey, can we just stick with Mardy? Because like that Mardy ring, it don't have that ring to it, you know? I'm just saying. And Mardy, with your hosts Doni Jones and Mardy, sponsored by Don's Tree Service. It's Doni Jones Live, right here, right now, right now. Doni Jones Live.
Hello. I am your host, Doni Jones. Welcome to Doni Jones Live. I am Doni again, and...
Yes, and I'm Mardy again. Ringer, yes.
Right? Y'all can tell we're starting this morning off in a crazy kind of way. But anyway, guys, we have a great show for you today. We have a woman on the show today that is an entrepreneur, an amazing woman, a beautiful spirit. In fact, she's so beautiful, and she's so wonderful, and she has such a great spirit that her actual name is Spirit. Welcome to our show, Lovin Spirit. How are you doing?
Thank you. I am doing wonderful. Thank you.
But we're so glad to have you. It is so crazy how we met. And as you know, that we always try to have people on the show that are doing great things in the community. And not only are you doing great things in the community, you're making great things in the community.
And making the community smell good.
Yes.
One person at a time or 1 foot at a time.
Absolutely.
This
I
is
can
nice.
actually handle more than one person at a time.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
You
Well,
ain't
all right.
seen my butt. Just saying. I need one of these wrapped in a Brillo pad.
Oh, my goodness.
We can arrange that.
Hey.
Go back to the reason why
sorry.
we have Miss Lovin Spirit on. She is the owner of Soaplistic Scents. Did I say that right?
You said it correct.
I said it right. Soaplistic Scents. I love that. How did you come up with that name?
You know, the name just came to me. I promise
Yeah.
you. It just came to me. I woke up one day and my spirit said, the name is Soaplistic Scents.
I love it.
It really did. Like, it just came from nowhere.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, you know, we just met a short while ago, and after I heard your story, I was like, she has got to be on the show. In fact, I called Mardy. I was like, we've got an amazing guest. This woman is all about her business, and she's just moving and grooving. She's got her name out there, and I just think that she would be a great person to have on the show. Tell us how you got started in the soap business.
Well, first, I want to say it's an honor to be here, and thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you.
I got started in the soap business in 2012, after hearing family members talking amongst themselves about eczema. Eczema is a big problem in my family and in a lot of the Black community.
That's right.
Eczema is a big issue. And they were talking about how hard it is to find good quality products that they could use on their children.
That don't cost $99 a
bar.
bar.
Yes,
exactly.
Or $99 for this little 2-ounce container. Yes,
exactly.
So I didn't interrupt them. I heard what they were saying, and I went home and started researching.
Right.
And I was looking for products.
Yeah.
I was actually looking for products, trying to find something cheaper for them, and that was of quality. And something popped up and said, "Have eczema? Make your own soap."
Wow. Well, you
And
know,
I
my
thought,
favorite thing, my favorite thing is to say that the nickname of God is something. You know, so when, you know how people always go, you know, something told me to do this.
Right.
That's God's voice, you know, talking to you. But finish what
Mine
you
is
were
always,
saying.
I am funky, or I am stank. You know, that's why this is the perfect time for her to come in, because I am a little funky. I was a little insecure until you brought the soap in. It smells good now. That's why I'm just holding this
Marty's going to sneak off to the bathroom, y'all, and take a bath.
Marty, when I finish, I have a special bar for that.
Please, yeah, because I got some itchy.
You have a
never
special
mind.
bar for funky people?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay. I ain't mad at you.
Cinnamon is the really strong soap for.
You have anything for
Funky
itchy anus?
people.
I do.
Oh,
I do.
that is a
Did
problem.
you just say
Yeah, he did.
ass on
He-
No,
tape on
itchy
the radio?
anus. Itchy anus. That is actual. That's an actual symptom, a problem. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to...
No, if you ever
I'm
go
just
to
gonna go
believe it
with
or
that.
not, if you go into it's called Jeju, it's an actual Korean spa.
I'm familiar with the
They
place where you
have-
get butt naked and
They actually
yeah.
have little boiling pots that you would sit down on top of that heats to cleanse for itchy anuses.
Where are they? I need to.
That's
take
actually
my
at
soap.
Jeju up off of
It's in
Highway
Duluth, isn't
85.
it?
Oh, I
Yeah,
need to
Duluth,
go
yeah.
visit them.
Uh-huh.
I need to go and
See,
visit
I
them.
don't just make jokes. Most of my stuff is factual. That's a symptom. Trust me, don't judge me. You see how I sit down and squabble every once in a while? I'm just saying.
Is that because you got an itchy? No,
I'm just saying.
I can't even say it.
It's hard for people to sit in church a long time with an itchy ain't. I'm just saying. You think it's the word moving you. No, it's that spirit on your behind. Just,
Spirit, I swear I did not know the show was going to take this turn. I swear.
No, but
you're saying it's a real
It is actually
issue?
a real issue that Koreans, and not just Koreans, but people have. It was a time where the way I found out is me and my wife went there, and it was that first shock. She's like, do you know there is a hot bowl that you sit in for, and they had the sign for itchy anuses. And it's like, wow.
You know what my mama would tell me? She would say, you need to wipe better. That's what my mama
My mom would have said, you need to wash your... I can't say that.
But you can say itchy.
And
Lovin,
anus is...
we're here to talk about your business. And I just want to get back to how you went from corporate America to building your business. We went off the deep end.
Okay, so... okay.
But no, that is amazing because not too many people have an idea like that in the concept and said, I'm going to go out there and do it and research and put soap together because it's not like... You know, and I'm not trying to be funny, but sometimes people say, okay, I want to start a career in our community and say, okay, well, let me get with so-and-so. I'm going to learn how to sell something real quick. Right. Or if I can still, but to go and do research to figure out how to do soap, you know, because this is a dangerous type thing. If you do your chemicals the wrong way, you could blow something up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and did you find
that? Or burn yourself up.
Or burn yourself.
Yeah. Did I find it dangerous?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that it was, I knew that it involved, well, actually I didn't. I did not know until I started researching that there was lye in soap.
Yeah.
My mom was a chemist by trade, so I knew about the dangers of chemicals.
You come from a smart family. That's awesome.
Yeah, I knew
my
about
mama came from Delmar Taylor in St. Louis, Missouri.
No.
I love you, mama.
Yeah, so I knew that I was reading how dangerous it was, so I was a little hesitant.
Yeah.
I was like, I can do this. You know, I can do this. So I tried it, and the first time I tried it, it came out perfect. Wow. I made a hemp soap. Hemp is very, very good for it's very good for cleaning the body. It's very good for eczema and psoriasis. Yes,
you got some hemp soap.
It's very good. I still make hemp soap.
You didn't bring no samples of that?
No, I was afraid. I was worried about. I was worried that Mardy was going to be here.
I could bathe in that all day.
Are you scratching?
No, I was just getting excited. You know how dog when you get happy, you start patting and just moving.
As long as he's not sketching,
as long as I ain't itching the bottom half of me, we all right.
So I made
just sit on the soap for a minute.
Hemp soap.
Okay.
And my girlfriend, she had asked me, she was having a party, and she says, you know, why don't you bring that soap to my party and just see how it goes, you know? And she had a really big home and big property and had all these people over there. So I took it much in a container much like this, and it sold.
It sold
15
out.
minutes.
And you was off and running.
Minutes. And right there, I knew I had found my niche.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That happened to me one time. I went to a party and brought something similar to hemp, and in about 15 minutes,
you know what?
You know, I sold all of mine. You know, I sold brownies, I sold cupcakes. Just about 15 minutes.
It's so nice to meet you, and I just, you know, praise God.
Saying.
I just am thankful to be
me too,
here.
Entrepreneur.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you know Marty's a pastor also?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, he is.
Yes,
He's my kind of pastor.
He is an awesome pastor,
Where do you
too.
pastor?
We're gonna talk about that after the break.
Okay.
After the break.
Yeah,
I got members
Did I
that's
miss
gonna.
something?
I got some members that be like, Pastor, you know, we're gonna have to talk to you about a few things. But no. I am honestly, I am a pastor, and a lot of times
he's an awesome pastor.
I do tell jokes, but most of my stuff is actually truthful.
Right.
You know, it's not like I live a lie. So I will say that.
Yeah.
But now the itchy anus type thing, we don't hold me to that one.
He ain't got that.
I'm just saying, you know, I got dirty fingernails, but
Let me see.
Which one of these?
She's got some for that. Seriously.
You got fungus removal soap and stuff.
Do you have fungus soap?
I don't have fungus soap.
Okay.
No,
but your specialty is working with eczema and stuff like that.
And just extreme dry skin.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you. Yeah, I was going to ask you because I have a nephew that deals with eczema. How can they get in contact with you for your information or your products?
Well, I'm on many of the social media outlets. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. On Instagram, it's under Soaplistic_Scents. And Soaplistic is SOAPLISTIC, kind of like simplistic. And Scents is like the smell, SCENTS.
And how do we find you on Facebook?
And on Facebook under Soaplistic Scents. And on Twitter under Body Butter. And that's
Body Butter.
Body
Awesome.
_.
That was one of my other names back in the day.
There you go.
Body
Yellow
butter. Yellow butter.
Well, we're going to take a
Body
quick break, and we'll be right back. I'm your host, Doni. And
I'm Mardy. Yellow butter.
Yes, yellow butter. We'll be right back. Hey, this is your girl, Doni the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. Don's Tree Service has been serving the metro Atlanta area for almost 20 years. I'm a certified arborist, and we are fully licensed and insured. Call us at 770-413-TREE. We give free estimates, and we don't charge extra for cleanup. Don's Tree Service, that's 770-413-TREE, or visit us online at donstree.com.
So the reason we went with Don's Tree Service is we needed a couple things done at our house. We needed some trimming of some trees done, but then we also had this old, big, beautiful tree in our backyard our deck was built around this tree, and it was just getting old and limbs were starting to fall, and we just knew eventually it was either going to land on the house or we needed to have it taken down. So we called around and got a few quotes, and then we met with Don's Tree Service, and they were awesome, and we ended up going with them, and I can't say enough about their work. They came in with their crane and got the tree down, and it looks great. I would definitely use them again.
Hey, got a comment about the show? Or would you like to just be a guest? Send us an email at DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com. Now, back to more Doni Jones Live with Doni and Mardy.
We are back. I'm your host, Doni Jones, hanging out with
Mardy Ma.
Mardy Ma, also known as Mardy Ringer.
Yeah, Mardy Ringer.
And today on our show, we have Lovin Spirit, and that's Lovin without a G on the end, isn't it?
That is correct.
Lovin'.
Yes.
Awesome.
Wow, I
love
would have
that
spelled
name.
that wrong.
Yeah.
Lovin Spirit. That's I would have thought that was how we spell the binding. So it's Lovin.
Correct.
I spelled
That
the
is
word
beautiful.
right.
You thought you spelled it wrong. You spelled it right.
That is correct.
Lovin, is that your real name?
That is my real name.
Get out of here.
Wow.
That is beautiful. So your parents are very creative people.
My parents, I always tell people, they were hippies,
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay.
Never mind.
Okay.
What?
He just,
Hip soap. Got it.
See, when you spell a name like Lovin, Lovin, that's good enough.
That's good.
Yeah, you can tell that time frame. It was like, how you want to spell it?
We don't
Let's
know
be
that.
creative.
They could have just. We don't know.
love-
Okay, got it.
That's what
See,
she's-
I was trying to
See,
clean it up a little
no,
bit.
No,
Okay.
no. When she say hippies,
I was trying to give you some respect that you
when you
deserve.
No,
black.
I just tell people that story because when people ask about my name, I say, yeah, my parents were hippies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you
Well, I'm
really
an
enjoy it.
undercover. I always tell people I'm an undercover hippie, so which is true. And my husband grew up in a commune.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, out in Washington State.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
Were your
they-
parents ever on a commune?
Not that I know of.
Okay, but I was gonna say they may have
Did you say were they ever on a what?
a commune.
Oh, commune. Explain that to me.
It was actually my husband's mother. She moved to a commune out in Washington State.
Okay.
And they basically lived off the land, grew their own food. There wasn't.
Is that similar to like what they call Quakers or something like that?
Something like it, but they live in homes.
Yeah, Quakers and stuff live in homes. I mean, they did actually, the ABBA house out in California, that big mansion, they actually lived there for a while too. I mean, it was a wild scene back then. They was, sometimes they had a lot of money, sometimes they didn't.
Was that place next to Charles Manson's?
Yeah, I believe so.
This is great, but I'm kind of curious more about the soap real quick because we only got a
let's get
little
on the
bit.
soap. Exactly. We ain't supposed to be talking
we
about
started
my
talking
husband.
about you and what you got undercover and all that stuff.
I ain't got nothing undercover.
Okay, just.
Lovin, how did you go from corporate America? Because I did kind of mention that you were in corporate America.
Yes.
Tell us your story because that's what fascinated me the other day.
Yes. So I was, in 2008, I was married at the time, and I knew I wanted to start a business. It wasn't a soap business at the time. And my husband at the time was trying to tell me, you need to quit your job and just go forth and do this.
Yeah.
I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified. But let me backtrack a little bit that I've always had an entrepreneurial mindset.
Love it.
I've always
Love it.
wanted to do my own thing. May not have always known what I was going to do. I had no idea I was going to do soap, but there were different things that I delved into. But this was something. It was a catering business, and I really wanted to really get into that. And he's like, why don't you just quit your job and do it? And I'm like, I can't do that.
Right.
I can't do that. Like, how are we going to pay bills?
What were your thoughts? Like, is that what it was?
How are we going to pay bills?
Right?
I was the breadwinner at the time. And how are you going to be able to handle it if something can't get paid, or what are we going to do? And what if the business and what if the business fails? That was my biggest thing. What if it doesn't work? And he's like, why are you worrying about it not working?
Right.
Do you love what you do? Do you believe in what you do? Yes, of course I do. He said, and you're good at it. You're very good at it. So just do it.
Right.
I was terrified. I couldn't do it. The economy crashed within the next year. And you know what? I ended up losing 90% of my 401k.
Wow.
When the economy crashed.
Wow.
I ended up losing most of it. So it didn't matter that I stayed on my job. It didn't matter at all. I
still lost.
Took a heavy loss. So fast forward to now, I ended up moving to, I moved to Atlanta in 2015 with the hope of opening a restaurant. That's what I moved here for.
Yeah.
Now I was doing my soap, but my soap was on a small scale. It was just for family, friends, and extended friends. And it was really hard trying to open a restaurant.
Now, how long had you been with your company
I've been at a total of almost 20 years when I left. So this was 3 years ago, so about 17 years. And I was like, I'm going to open this restaurant and, I'm going to leave this job. I did say that. But every 6 months I talked myself out of leaving the job. And finally, this year, there were, I went through a couple of spiritual awakenings that spoke to my heart and said, it is time for you to do this. You're going to do this or you're never going to do it. You're going to keep talking yourself out of it and you're not going to do it. So I got up one day, I went to work and I told my boss, I said, you know what? I'm going to spread this, because my soap business grew in this time down here. People got into it here. My friends and family up north was requesting it. I was driving back and forth all the time, taking orders up to them. And I was like, man, I can really do this. Like, I love doing this. This is nothing. This is easy by now, So I went in and I gave my notice and here I am.
Now, what were you thinking when you gave your notice?
When I first gave my notice, when I was going over, I wrote my note. I wrote a letter. When it came time to hit send, I hesitated. I could feel the sweat squirting. I could feel sweat. I needed a couple of bars of hemp soap. And I was terrified. And I'm like,
right.
And then I hear that what did you call it? Something. I heard something saying,
God,
hit
voice.
That send button. Hit that send button. I hit the send button, and I promise you, the weight just fell off of me. It was so amazing. The weight that came off of me. I wish it was real weight, but it just fell off of me.
That's why you need to talk to our apprentice.
I sat back in my seat and was like, wow.
Yeah.
The first person I contacted was my ex-husband and told him I did it.
Yeah.
He's like, are you serious? I said, yes. He says, I am so proud of you.
I'm
so happy for you.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Well, tell us how business has been so far.
So far, business has been, it has been good. It has been good. I have not found myself in the red yet. Which is good. It's not where I don't I haven't found myself in the red. Stop it.
She got the all wrong.
I thought you were saying, okay.
She's like,
so
I've managed. I stay in the red.
Let me say,
I've
managed to stay.
Your check cleared, didn't it? Go ahead.
I've managed to stay even. I've managed to stay even.
That's awesome.
I don't know how I got that purse, but
you
I managed
a Coach purse, can't you?
I managed to stay even and slightly, it's starting to move up. I do
That's
a lot
awesome.
I vend a lot. I do the Atlanta Indie Market every month.
Awesome.
And I do a lot of vending in the Atlanta area. You know, have some.
What's your favorite way, or what's the most effective way for other people that are business people that are listening? Because you know my passion is entrepreneurship. What's the best way that you've seen to get your name out there? What have you been doing?
I would have to say social media, word of mouth.
Yeah.
Getting out there, beating that pavement.
Yeah.
You know, talking to people.
When we come back, I want to ask you maybe two questions. But one, at what point did you start getting more different products? Because I know you have soap and now you have lotions, you have some other face creams, you know, and because I would have just started buying other people's product and putting it in a new bottle. But I know that's not the legit way of doing it. But I'm just saying, look, find a way to make one.
She's a creative.
That's creative too. Think about how many bottles you can get to make the same color and then resell that. But
get some Jergens and put that stuff
right.
in.
You know, ain't nobody gonna double check.
They gonna know.
But it is a thing. But before we go to break, how do they contact you again to get your, you know, because you have an online store, right?
Yeah,
I do.
So what's the best way for them to contact you
and buy some product from you?
Yes.
So www.soaplistic.com or on my Facebook page,
which is
Soaplistic Scents.
Good deal. And spell that one more time before we head out.
SOAPLISTICSCENTS.
And she got soap for every part of your body.
Yes.
You know, the kind that don't nobody else see. The kind that, you know. And it don't
all
leave
kinds of soap.
Right? Does it leave any kind of residue or coloring on it?
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna beat him up. And the way you get in touch with us is DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com.
Rub that on and come out green.
Again,
yeah, explain that.
We're ignoring Mardy right now. DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com. All right, bye bye.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Ain't bye bye yet. Be right back. Hey, this is your girl, Doni the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. Don's Tree Service has been serving the metro Atlanta area for almost 20 years. I'm a certified arborist, and we are fully licensed and insured. Call us at 770-413-TREE. We give free estimates, and we don't charge extra for cleanup. Don's Tree Service, that's 770-413-TREE, or visit us online at donstree.com.
So the reason we went with Don's Tree Service is we needed a couple things done at our house. We needed some trimming of some trees done, but then we also had this old, big, beautiful tree in our backyard that our deck was built around this tree, and it was just getting old and limbs were starting to fall, and we just knew eventually it was either going to land on the house or we needed to have it taken down. So we called around and got a few quotes, and then we met with Don's Tree Service, and they were awesome, and we ended up going with them, and I can't say enough about their work. They came in with their crane and got the tree down, and it looks great. I would definitely use them again.
Hey, got a comment about the show? Or would you like to just be a guest? Send us an email at DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com. Now, back to more Donnie Jones Live with Doni and Mardy.
Hello, we are back. I am Doni Jones, your host of Doni Jones Live.
And I'm Mardy Ringer.
Yes, and we have Lovin Spirit here with Soaplistic Scents, and she's just an amazing woman. We were talking a little bit about her story, and Mardy, you had a question for her real quick.
Yeah, sorry I went blank because I wanted to make sure people know that we were talking about a person, Lovin Spirit. You just said, we're sitting here with Lovin Spirit. You know, and it almost sounds like
if this is
right.
Okay,
I just want to make people know that this is a person. Her name is Lovin.
Yeah, okay. We have a Lovin Spirit in the room.
Okay,
but we are talking to.
And it was spelled the way y'all spell it in Decatur, so it's Lovin Spirit.
Oh my God.
There's no G, Lovin Spirit.
Mardy,
sure.
it was so nice
for
knowing
the ones
you guys.
that was writing it down. Y'all know. We talked because people would try to. Well, it's Lovin Spirit. That's a beautiful name. L-O, and they'll look for you on Facebook. L-O. They'll try to spell it right. L-O-V-I-N-G.
No, but it is spelled right.
Yeah, it's no G.
Right, it's no G.
Yeah, but most people ain't gonna know.
L-O-V-I-N. But if you do lovin', like lovin', then it's L-U-V-I-N.
Yeah, Lovin.
Lovin'.
Yeah, Lovin Spirit.
Lovin', spell your name for people so they know how to
Spirit.
find you. Because I'm going to hurt him.
Right.
I'm going to jump through the radio and hurt him.
For soap, they want to look for Soaplistic Scents.
Yeah, Soaplistic Scents.
Yeah.
But I love her spirit, so I can remember her name.
It's a Lovin Spirit.
And I want to add that I have my Soaplistic Scents is set up as a group on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
I also have it as a business page, but I very, very rarely
I'm glad you explained that because I thought I was just technically insufficient because I was looking for the friend request button and it didn't give me one, you know, like the little light. I didn't. Got it.
So,
okay.
I saw that and you're added on there. But,
He was like, it is. Don't know what she's doing.
There are two Soaplistic Scents pages because I was having issues trying to set it up. And then, but I always had the Soaplistic Scents group, and because there are so many people in the group, and that's where everybody communicates with me. This is where I'm showing every time I make soap, I post it on
awesome.
On
and you got so many different scents. How do you come up with your scents?
Yeah, that was a question I wanted to ask you. How did you diversify with your products? First you got your scents, and then you got your lotions, and I don't know what that foot cream was.
Oh gosh,
I don't know what. I just know it's I don't see
body
that.
Butter.
Body butter. That
Body
sounds
butter.
Good. Body butter.
So
boom, bada bing, butter.
I started off with the soap, as I said, for eczema and psoriasis. Then in 2016, I tried my hand at lotion. There's a little story behind that. Like when I started making the soap, the lotion. When you start doing DIY stuff,
right?
You start seeing DIYs for everything.
Everything, yeah.
So it was, you can make your own lotion. And so I started studying the lotion. And lotion, you have to be extreme, even though it's not dangerous like soap is, you have to be very careful making lotion because you can contaminate it just like that.
Oh.
But what would you contaminate it with?
You can contaminate it with your hand, with your finger. You can contaminate it just by touching the lid of the container. Like it's so easy to contaminate it. You have to be extremely careful, and it's because it has water in it.
Okay.
And so I was nervous.
Bacteria or something will get in there.
It'll grow, and you won't see it.
Okay.
You won't see it.
And I guess
won't
it could
smell
mess with someone's skins
it can get in
Okay.
your skin and totally take away the natural of everything. So so I was afraid to make the lotion. And then in 2016,
I like your lotions.
Oh yeah, I definitely, I went for it. 2016 I made a lotion and I know I was absolutely careful because I was terrified. And I had a couple of people at work try it out.
Yeah.
And they loved it. They loved it. They loved
Was
it.
it the hemp lotion?
It was so no, it was not hemp lotion.
No,
that's a good
no,
one.
it wasn't. It
just
wasn't.
put it in your skin and it just absorbs in.
No, not quite.
I need some
And just so you know, the
that's
hemp
all
soap
good.
is not going to have any THC in it.
Is that why it
Just
sells good?
Oh, it sells really good.
Yeah, it would sell better with a little THC in it.
Oh my God.
Just a hint.
No,
Yeah.
what you do is you get the lotion and then you get some THC.
Yeah, but that too. But that's anyway. This is a Christian soap.
And the
I'm
lotion,
keeping my mind on Jesus.
the lotion was a hit.
On Jesus.
The lotion was a hit. And then the body butter came along because
I love the body butter.
People kept asking me,
Yeah.
do you have body butter to go with this? Do you have body? No, but I have lotion. Oh, I want some body butter.
I actually
So
like
then I
body
started.
butter.
I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, because I'm about to
I'm
really
gonna
ask,
tell
what is the
you-
difference between body butter
Well,
and regular lotion?
the first thing is it has no water in it.
Right.
My body butter don't have no water in it either.
Okay.
But-
Okay. So the body butter has no water in it. It has no preservatives in it. It is absolutely just butter. Well, mine is butter, mostly butter.
Is it like a shea butter?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I use shea butter, aloe vera butter, avocado butter, mango butter, a butter called kokum butter. And
now, this ain't your
and then-
ingredients for the mixture, is it?
Because you don't want somebody
I
taking
do-
your.
I just wanted to write that down then.
Yeah, I'll tell you. You can write it down. I'll tell you
But
what's
you
in
can't
it.
put what she put in it because
Exactly.
she got that Lovin Spirit.
Exactly.
Well, I got that Mardy juice.
And you know,
No, that's a whole nother story.
The way
I
you
don't.
package
One
it.
thing I learned really quick with making homemade products, handmade products, homemade products. You have to put your by law when you start selling it.
Yeah.
Your ingredients have to
That
go
is
on.
true.
Okay.
on the
That is
container.
true.
Yeah.
So you're not hiding anything except your
But
your,
the way
your
you
weight.
put
your,
it in.
Right.
Exactly.
The weight
Yeah.
and then,
Yes,
okay.
and then I have a process for my body butter that makes my body butter my body butter.
Absolutely.
There's a process to it, and it's like a 7-step process. So I'm not worried about anybody taking it.
You ain't gotta worry about
and
me.
I will,
You know,
I
my
let
hands are
people
still
know.
soft from yesterday.
I love that butter.
I love
What
it.
did y'all
It's
do
good
yesterday?
stuff. I've got her butter. I use her body butter.
That just came out of left field. I didn't know what you. My hands feel good from yesterday. I
got her product.
Okay.
And you should buy her product too.
I will.
How do we get in contact with you again?
You can contact me at Soaplistic Scents. www.soaplisticscents.com. SOAPLISTICSCENTS.com.
And what is in the future for you, Miss Spirit?
In the future, what I would, in a perfect world. Well, I shouldn't even say it like that. What's going to happen in the future is I am going to be wholesaling my products. I'm also working on this is like a world premiere here.
Okay.
I am working
You
on
heard it first on Donnie Jones Live.
Yes. Right. I am working on a soap specifically for newborns with eczema.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And it'll be ready for testing. I have a group of people that have volunteered to test it for me. First of all, this soap does what I expect it to do. I'll just be,
huge. Will we still be able to get you on the show?
You'll be able to get me on the show.
I want to ask one challenging question, and serious one too. With as many homeless women and children and men around Atlanta, do you see yourself giving any donations to homeless shelters to give back?
Absolutely.
Or have you done that before?
Have you done that before?
I have attempted to give soap away. Because I made so much soap. I love making soap. I used to make soap every single day. Once I really got into the business and like, okay, this is a business now, so you have to stop making this soap. It got to a point where I was making soap and just setting it aside.
Right.
So I called several homeless shelters and said, I have so much soap to give away that I would love to bring to you guys. Just, tell me where to bring it. And they said, well, if you want to give us soap, you have to put labels on every soap. Now, they're all packaged, but they're not labeled. And then I said, well, that's going to cost me money to go out and get labels to put them on. So they wouldn't allow me to give it to them without that. So, I still have the soap.
My
Mardy,
sister,
being a
I
pastor,
have a church that I have a couple of stinking folks there that could use.
Yeah.
They could use some liquid, substance to make them smell a little bit better in the house of the Lord. So I would appreciate, any kind of donation, and not just from mine, but it always, one of my passions is, give back. She's an entrepreneur. I'm always like, what can I do to make somebody else's life a little bit better tomorrow? And if we can make you smell good, do you have toothpaste for kids too?
I do have.
You ain't have no soap that you can just put in some people's mouth?
I actually make.
Okay, we're going to talk about that when we come back. We're going to take
or something. Okay, we got to go. I know.
We got to go. We're going to take a quick break, but would you hang out with us just for a little while longer?
Sure.
We're going to go into our hot topics, but I want to talk a little bit more to you about what you're doing. All right?
Yeah.
I'm Mardy, and this is.
Oh, I'm Donnie, I guess today.
Okay, I'm Mardy. This is.
And I'm Donnie Jones
Donnie.
Live.
I'm Mardy. This is Donnie Jones Live. We'll be right back. Bye-bye. Hey, this is your girl, Donnie the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. Don's Tree Service has been serving the metro Atlanta area for almost 20 years. I'm a certified arborist, and we are fully licensed and insured. Call us at 770-413-TREE. We give free estimates, and we don't charge extra for cleanup. Don's Tree Service, that's 770-413-TREE, or visit us online at donstree.com.
So the reason we went with Don's Tree Service is we needed a couple things done at our house. We needed some trimming of some trees done, but then we also had this old, big, beautiful tree in our backyard that was, our deck was built around this tree, and it was just getting old and limbs were starting to fall, and we just knew eventually it was either going to land on the house or we needed to have it taken down. So we called around and got a few quotes, and then we met with Don's Tree Service, and they were awesome, and we ended up going with them, and I can't say enough about their work. They came in with their crane and got the tree down, and it looks great. I would definitely use them again.
Hey, got a comment about the show? Or would you like to just be a guest? Send us an email at DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com. Now, back to more Donnie Jones Live with Donnie and Marty.
We are back. I am your host, Donnie Jones, hanging out with
Marty Ringer.
And we both are hanging out with
Yep.
the beautiful Lovin Spirit, and she's the owner of Soaplistic Scents. And we are just so thankful that you chose to come on the show and share
great to
with
be
us.
here.
Well, thank you. We're glad to have you. Before we went to break, we were talking about giving back to the community. You said you've done some things like that, and then Marty was asking you about children's toothpaste, which I didn't know you had.
Well, it's not children's toothpaste. It's toothpaste. However, it's not marketed at this
Okay.
time. My son keeps
Once
telling me you need to
again.
market
Right.
this. So
Yeah,
you need
it's
to
a
market
marketing
it.
thing.
On
Right.
Donnie Jones Live.
Right.
I'm telling. When I said that, when I got into making soap, the DIY thing, I got into everything. I make
Tell
my
me
own
DIY
toothpaste.
again, just to make
Do
sure.
it
I'm a little
yourself.
slow. Oh, do it yourself. I
Yes,
didn't know.
I'm
I was
sorry.
trying to figure
Oh
out
my
the
God.
DIY.
A lot of people might not have. It's do it yourself.
No.
Sorry about that.
Love it.
Integrate.
So, everybody
it's
know
him.
what DIY means.
I know
DIY.
what DUI is.
DIY.
I got a DUI.
Okay, everybody know. Okay, I can't say it, but I know what it means. Okay.
I just wanted to make sure Okay, but it's do it yourself.
DIY.
Yeah. So I got
Everybody know what
into.
DIY means.
I got into the soap, the lotion, the body butters, the toothpaste. I also make detergent.
Yeah, she told me about that.
I
Yeah.
make detergent. And,
Oh, see you all around.
Yeah,
Yes.
I make my own detergent, and I don't sell it at either. I did sell it for a little while. I was set up in a store in Austell, and I did sell it, and customers loved it. It's just a lot of work
To make
a
and
detergent.
it's just me right now.
Right.
So
You know,
I just do it for myself, my grandchildren, my mom.
I gotta
my
applaud
family.
you. I'm saying, and I think I always believe God put things together for a reason.
Right.
You know, because I've had an idea for the longest about toothpaste. I wanted to create some reusable toothpaste.
Oh,
you know,
gosh.
and
I'm hurt,
since
gosh.
you are in that industry,
I'm not
it
in
might
that
be
industry.
something that we can work
I'm
together.
just-
No, you can recycle. I'm saying, think about how much
remember I said
toothpaste
I
you
wonder
go.
why ain't nobody
Marty,
picked him
but
up. I
if
think
you
I know
use
why.
it-
I don't think I want to be in that industry.
I don't want to do that.
Just thinking outside the box.
That
I'm
is
just saying.
so outside.
That's
I
what
think
I'm
I'll
saying.
stay in the box.
You gotta be a little creative nowadays.
Love
you
it.
know?
Okay.
What's gonna stand up
There are
between your
moments
toothpaste and other?
when
I'm
you have
just
to
saying.
kind of reel it in. I'm reeling it in right now. What's some advice that you would give to entrepreneurs that want to do what you've done, which is step out there on faith? What's some
the first thing that I
Some
would,
advice.
the first piece of advice I would give one is to not let fear stop you.
Yes.
Fear is an ugly, ugly beast.
Yes.
It is horrendous. And fear will keep you trapped for
That's
the rest
right.
of your life.
That's
And
right.
So I would say, don't let fear stop you. I would also say to, plan for a long time. I didn't plan for a long time. Plan for a long time. Not a very long time. Like
Yeah, I was gonna say because
you
I'm
want to
not
plan.
a planner.
I'm
but I
not.
think you should plan.
I jumped out. I really jumped out on faith. I won't even go into how much faith, but I jumped out there on faith.
Right.
And I don't discourage that at all. If
Right.
you really, really believe in what you're doing, then you can do it on a dime.
Let me tell you
I
something.
truly
I had a
believe
thought,
that is
and
true.
within
You
a half an hour, I
Yeah.
was making business
you
cards.
can do it
Yeah.
on a dime. And
Yeah.
but there aren't many people
Right.
that just do it just like
Right.
that. Just
Right.
like nobody's.
But in a way you did plan it. You didn't just you made the decision to eventually just do it, but you did plan it. You had a little bit of a customer
Well,
base.
when I say plan it, I am truly just speaking of financially.
Okay, gotcha.
Get your finances in order as much as possible
Mm-hmm.
to do this, but at the same time you cannot let it stop you
Right.
from moving.
Right.
So it's like it's a double-edged sword.
Right.
Don't let fear. That's my biggest
Right.
piece of advice. Do not
Let
let
fear
fear stop you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And don't be discouraged by time. Like
Yeah.
people give up so quickly. Like this
Right.
is just not working.
Or they think they're
Yeah.
too old.
Oh,
or they,
yes.
yeah,
That's
I'm like, just go
another
for
one.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I do want to put it out there because I'm not afraid. I am proud of who I am. In my age, I'm so glad to be still alive. You just don't know. I am 54 years old.
And when did you just step out on faith? How long
This
ago was
year.
This year.
This year.
Guys, you are
That's
not
good.
too old
This
to
year,
pursue
you're not
your
too old.
dreams.
If you're breathing, you are young enough.
That's right.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
If you're breathing, you're young enough. Well, we've got to wrap things up and get into our hot topics real quick, which is usually the last segment of our show. I asked you to hang out with us because I'd love to hear your opinion. Our hot topic today is going to be voting. We are voting on our next governor, and we don't necessarily have to get into the yin, the yang, the Republican, Democrat, independent. I'm
Right.
independent. But my thing is this. we want to see change happen, but then we don't go vote. I have an issue with that. I really do have a major issue with that. Have you seen how a lot of people in our community, they talk about we're not getting a fair shot, we're not being heard, but then we look at there's a very small percentage of us that participated in the elections. What would you say about that?
Well, first, I would like to say I was one of those people that felt like it didn't matter. Right. What I thought didn't matter.
Right.
That has absolutely changed now.
Thank you.
Yes, it has absolutely changed, and I actually push registering to vote on my page.
I love it. Yes. I love it.
It is important.
It is very important,
and it's unfortunate that I see a lot and have recognized it in myself that we don't really pay attention to what's going on out here in politics, and in our younger years.
Yeah,
I didn't really start paying attention until the last 10, 15 years.
Right.
But it is very important.
It's very important.
We have to be vocal. Whether we think that we individually can change something or not, masses do make changes.
And masses are made up of individuals.
Yeah.
If
Exactly.
each one of us starts using our voice, a wave can happen.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I just want to see us be involved in the things that affect our community, that affect our families, and that affect our future.
Absolutely.
And step up and be counted. And you can't be counted if you don't vote. How do you feel about that, Marty?
And all joking aside, when I was in college, probably is what changed my whole thought about voting. It was when Bush, the younger Bush, was going up against Gore.
Right.
And it was that night that the election night, and it came out, Gore won, and the next day it was Bush. I didn't vote that time. And the next day, all of my college friends are talking about this, and I couldn't say anything because I didn't put my voice out there. I didn't make a stand.
Right.
After that, I was like dedicated to, I was going to make my voice heard. And then it was a time where Bush was there, and I did not like him. I didn't like the politics. And sometimes, I just know what the pundits tell me on TV, but I didn't like him. So I made it a point. And then I think Senator Kerry had just, he was going against Bush and his, that speech. This was Obama's first time getting on the platform. He did that inaugural speech for Kerry.
Right.
And it was like, and some told me then, he's going to be the first black president.
I
and
thought
after
that too.
that, I'm not going to lie, I fell in love with The Daily Show with Jon Stewart at the time.
I love Jon Stewart.
And just because he made politics humorous and it kept it interesting to me. So then it made me start reading up on, more.
Yeah.
And then when I started seeing so much stuff go on in the cities and in politics, that it's like, you know what? We got to vote. We got to encourage
educate ourselves.
We got to educate
times
ourselves.
We are uncomfortable voting because honestly, we don't even know what the heck we're voting on.
We don't know.
Right.
We're like, I'm going to go vote. I don't know who I'm voting for.
Right.
That's why it's important. Let me say something. If you can vote, if you can look at the latest Cardi B video on YouTube, you can look up information about your candidates.
Right.
You can look at what's going on in the community and educate yourself.
Right. And I know this is hard for us in our society, but you can vote early. I know we don't like to do anything early. We don't like to go to church early.
You can get your tags early.
Right.
Okay.
There's a lot of things we don't like. Some of us are going to be late to our funeral. Just because we do not like to be on time, but we can vote early versus waiting for an hour in that line all the way around. Go ahead and put in the time. Right. Vote.
That's right. We got to vote. That's what we're going to end on. We got to vote. We got to stand up, have our voices be heard. And you know what? I'm independent, so I'm not going to say go this way or that way.
Me too.
But if something affects your community, please vote your conscience.
Whoever is going to legalize marijuana, I'm voting for you.
Goodness.
I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican,
Marty.
you can be in the Tea Party. I'm just saying, if you're going to legalize it, you got my vote. I'm just saying.
If you want to do something for the community and make a difference and be inclusive, I'm going to vote for you, okay? If you're going to make a difference,
just saying.
Okay, vote. You guys, I'm Doni Jones, hanging out with
Mardy Ringer.
Yes, and this is Doni Jones Live. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you also for hanging out with us, Lovin Spirit. Love your name, and we look forward to seeing you again.
And I'm
going
to use some of this soap right now.
Yes,
now.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us on Doni Jones Live. We'll talk to you next week. Hey, this is your girl, Doni the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. Don's Tree Service has been serving the metro Atlanta area for almost 20 years. I'm a certified arborist, and we are fully licensed and insured. Call us at 770-413-TREE. We give free estimates, and we don't charge extra for cleanup. Don's Tree Service, that's 770-413-TREE, or visit us online at donstree.com.
So the reason we went with Don's Tree Service is we needed a couple things done at our house. We needed some trimming of some trees done, but then we also had this old, big, beautiful tree in our backyard that our deck was built around this tree, and it was just getting old and limbs were starting to fall, and we just knew eventually it was either going to land on the house or we needed to have it taken down. So we called around and got a few quotes, and then we met with Don's Tree Service, and they were awesome, and we ended up going with them, and I can't say enough about their work. They came in with their crane and got the tree down, and it looks great. I would definitely use them again.